Are you interested in talking to your angels or having some sign that they're with you or protecting you, but a great deal of the time you think you're just making it up? Or have you noticed just a whole bunch of occasions where you start seeing repeating numbers and something in you says, this is significant, this is important, but I really don't know what it means? Well, my name is Sonia Choquette. I'm an intuitive guide and channel and been working with people for over 50 years. Today, we're going to talk about how your angels communicate with you through numbers. If you're new to my channel, I hope you find something valuable here, and welcome back to all of those who are coming back. Maybe even some of what I'm saying today you may already know, but it's always good to have a refresher. Now, what's the deal about numbers? That's the big question lately, because so many people are seeing that repeating numbers experience, and people who would just generally never, ever pay attention. Well, the reason numbers are so significant, and yes, a sign that your guides are connecting with you, your angels, is because they're more than just static symbols. Numbers are frequencies. They are vibrational frequencies, and the number itself is the symbol for the frequency. So when you connect to a particular frequency, you match an angelic frequency, it will draw your attention or communicate to you with repeating numbers. So I want to break them down today and give you some kind of organization around what they mean. But it isn't just to believe that this is what they mean. I want you to think about how numbers really reflect the organization of the universe. Now, the first, of course, is zero. If you see a lot of zeros, it means it's your angel saying, go back to your spirit. Go back to the breath of you. Go back to the essence of you before you get in your mind and you get into your emotions and you meet the crazy world. Just recognize and remember. It is a broadcast from your angels to remember that you are a spiritual being, a timeless, immortal spiritual being. Now, I have a story to share about this. I have a client who was diagnosed with a tumor in her stomach. And the doctors, of course, being conservative, not trying to bum her out, but being conservative, said it looked pretty serious. And she was scared. She was in her 50s, single, no kids, no parents. This was an overwhelming experience for her, and one where she was not used to asking her friends for help. She was the person who was always the strong one. But she scheduled the surgery, and with the 2 or 3 weeks before the surgery, she kept seeing a series of zeros. She saw them 2 times on a car license plate as she was driving through Sacramento. And then once she got on her phone to make a phone call, and all of a sudden she hit something and it came up 000 on the clock. Very strange. And then one time she woke up in the middle of the night and her clock was blinking 000. So at first she thought, oh, great. That's a sign that I'm a goner. That's a sign that I am absolutely not going to make it, and got really scared. Then she sat down and just started to focus on accepting and breathing and just dealing with the reality of what she was facing and how difficult it was. And she went into a semi-dreamlike state, probably because she wasn't sleeping very well. And in that dreamlike state, those zeros came up. And then they turned into bubbles. And then they turned into clouds. And then they turned into beautiful suns. And all of a sudden, she knew that they were symbols to her, that her spirit was strong and that she would be okay. She said, I had absolutely no logical reason for feeling this or believing this, but it didn't matter. And after I acknowledged that, those zeros went away. And she said, why do you think they went away? When I was talking to her, I said, because message received. was a message to you to go back to spirit. Before you were in this body, in this personality, you were a timeless spirit. And that's what zeros mean. To remind you of connecting to that beautiful divine nature that is connected to the heavens. Now, a lot of people see 1, 1, 11, 11, 1, 1, 1, and 11, 11 or 1, 1, 1, especially recently, because there's a whole planetary alignment in April of all the planets lining up in Aries, which is the first planet of the zodiac. So 1, 1, 1, 1, 1 means new beginnings. When something is 11, 11, it is a transmission from your angels to reset, to start again, to get back in touch with your body, to align, which means simply let your head, your heart, your gut, your feet, and your words all line up. In other words, if you see 11, 11 or 1, 1, 1, your angels are saying align, reset, go forward in unity. And also, we're with you. The other message of 11, 11 or any ones, repeating ones, is that everything is connected. We are all one spirit expressing in different bodies. I had a client who was constantly being barraged by 111, 111. He was in the process of selling a trucking company that he owned, and it wasn't a big one, but it was big enough. And he said, I'm so torn because I want to sell it and retire, but part of me feels I should give it to my sons and keep it in the company. And yet, anytime I get that 111, I don't know what it means. Does it mean keep it in the family, keep us all aligned? Or does it mean do what I want? And I said, just ask your spirit what this 111 means. And he said, well, when I think about it honestly, without any editing and getting my head or emotions in the way, I need to do what I need to do. And I'm just going to sell it. It's time. My sons haven't shown any great interest. I'd have to talk them into it. I'm just going to do it. So when he did, he was afraid. He did sell it, and he was afraid his sons would be annoyed or feel betrayed. And instead, they were so ecstatic. He said, we never wanted it, Dad. One was an artist, one was a DJ, and who knows what he was ultimately going to be. But one was a very committed graphic artist and painter. And he said, that wasn't me. So he aligned with himself. Now, here's the thing. When I asked him and I said, what do you feel when you think of the 1111 or the 111? What is it transmitting to you? It's not just a number over there you see with your eyeballs. It is broadcasting a frequency to you. It is broadcasting a message. What is that message? And he said, I just keep seeing that I should just be aligned, that I should be at one with myself. And honestly, guys, that is probably what mostly this message means. It also means we're all connected. It means you're never alone. But rather than try to memorize the meanings, check in with the feeling that you are getting when you see this number and what is happening at that moment. What are you questioning? Then we go on to twos. Now, twos are mirrors. I see it's a mirror. So when you get a 222, it's a mirror, a partner. It's saying get some support. Don't do this alone. When you have those twos, it's also saying acknowledge the support that you do have. And also check the support that you have. Does that support feel like it's mirroring you accurately? And if not, get accurate mirrors. People who believe in you, support you, want your success. So those transmissions are twofold. One, we are mirroring you. We are supporting you. Two, check your support. Is it mirroring you properly? Is it supporting you? And is it supporting your best self, or are your mirrors supporting your weak self? Like if you're surrounded by you want to quit drinking and you're only mirrored by people who party and drink, that 222 is saying, look, What you're going to be with is going to reflect who you are. So there's a degree of logic involved in working with angelic numbers, but don't override that you can feel it. Don't try to figure it out. Now, threes are interesting because they are creative. When you put a seed in the dirt, you get a flower. It's the third thing. When you take an intention and an action and you bring them together, you get a result. So when you get threes, that is a real affirmation from your guides that they're there, your angels, to help you be creative, to start something new, to initiate something, to break from routine, break from the straight and narrow, explore something else. That is a very big sign to believe in your creativity, to reawaken your creativity, to break out of a rut. Very important. Then we go to the number 4. When you think of 4, you think of 4 legs on a table, 4 edges to a square. You think of the foundation of a house, and that's exactly what it means. Foundation, being grounded, having a life that has some commitment to it. 4s are reassuring numbers. 4s are saying you're safe. You've got this. Your means will be secure. Your foundation is solid. What you're considering will be grounded. So 4s often come in the energy of solidity, groundedness, support, security. So think about when a 4 shows up, what's going on in your life? I had a woman who was thinking about moving from her home that she had been in with her husband, but after the divorce, she found it too big, full of memories, didn't want it, but it was a beautiful home. She had designed it over the years, and everyone said, don't give it up. It's so beautiful. But she had wanted a new beginning. So she was looking around and found a wonderful condo about 8 miles from where she lived in a community that was not far from the sea on the East Coast, totally different from everything her life knew. Communal living by the sea versus being in the mountains, and just a whole bunch of very significant shifts. But she said when she walked out the door, she looked at the clock when she was being shown the condo, and it was 4:44. And it was a digital clock, so she saw it as 444. She said, I instantly knew I'd be safe and secure here, and I wouldn't regret it. I just knew. That was not just seeing numbers. I felt something, which is what I'm talking about. That's a broadcast. Have you ever had numbers broadcast to you? When they do show up, check. What's happening in my life right now? What am I trying to decide or weigh, or how I'm going to go forward? Check, because that communication will show up to answer that uncertainty and give you feedback. Now, another number that comes up a lot lately because the planet is under such disruption is 555. 5 is the number of change. 5 is saying that what we've built so far has reached its peak, and now we need to open up to something new. So when you get a 555, it's saying get ready for change, and don't assume that it's bad. A lot of people fear change because the unknown is a bit threatening. But 555 also invites you, your angels are saying, get ready for change, open your mind, we're bringing something new, we're bringing something that you've asked for, but it'll come in a way that you don't expect. And one of the ways that showed up for a client of mine is she had been single for a long time. She was in her early 60s. And her girlfriend invited her to go on a speed dating thing at a hotel in the city they were in. She said, absolutely not. I am not interested. I am a deep person. I'm not going to know nobody in 30 seconds. And it's just a charade. But then she looked at the clock and she saw 555. And she knew it meant change. So in her mind, it meant change your mind. Change your attitude. Change your projection. So she paused and she said, oh, what the heck? I am going to go. Why not? I'm not going to have any expectations, but I'll go. Why not? I'll have the experience. So she did. And she did not meet a single guy that was interesting, but she met 2 women who laughed and laughed with her, and they were having so much fun, and now they're best friends, and they've just planned on going on a European tour together. She said, I've never had so much fun in my life. Way more fun than any guy I had been dating or had dated in the last decade, so I got something out of it. I changed my mind, and I had a different experience. So if you get 5s, if you receive 5s, if you intercept 5s, if they're broadcasted to you, just know they are alerting you to that it's time for some kind of a change, either in the external conditions of your life or in your attitude or in both. So let's just be prepared for and ask yourself now, have I had any 5s show up? What kind of changes were happening? Another friend of mine said she saw 555 for a week, for almost daily for a week, and then her beloved dog passed. He just got sick very suddenly and passed, and she said it was so traumatic, but having that 555 all week, I was kind of prepared. As devastating as it was, I wasn't totally blindsided. Now, not all changes are all or nothing, life or death, but change is the ending of one thing to begin another. Now, 6 is an interesting number because in the Bible we have 666 and Revelations and end times, and it can be very menacing, but 6 is really to ask yourself, your angels are saying to you, are you choosing from fear or are you choosing from love? Because 6s want you to reflect on what is making your choices. What? Are you choosing from autopilot? Are you letting other people bully you? Are you being unconscious? Are you being irresponsible? Are you being sloppy? Are you being overwhelmed? Or are you choosing with courage and love? So when you get the 6s, it's not the end times as much as it's time to end whatever you're doing and think it through. Just think it through. What is driving you? What is motivating you? And what is guiding you? Your angels are communicating. Again, it's not just a number you see out there. It's a transmission. It is a, hey, this is a choice point. This is a moment to pay attention to so that you can align and support yourself and be grounded and creative. And you can let go of what doesn't work and start really showing up. 7s are power numbers. 7s are big power numbers. I'm sorry, there's some massive construction going on behind me, so I hope this doesn't overwhelm my message. But it kind of goes along with the 7s because 7s are liftoff. 7s mean surrender and let divine power come and partner you. 7s are an important energy for, there it stopped. 7s are now in the next number in line, and 7s are numbers of surrender. The 7s are saying, look, we're here. Let us help you. This is your angel saying, now it's our turn to take over. Give up control. Don't block all the opportunities. Don't think you're the only one on the job. When you get the 7s, you're getting the cavalry coming in. I had a client she was a divorced woman. She had 3 kids. She had worked for the post office. Somehow, I don't know why she quit. She wasn't getting a new job anywhere. She was getting really desperate. And she prayed for help. She said, I need help. I need a job that I can be with my kids. I need a job that I can work with my kids and be there for them when they come home. So within, 2 or 3 days, she started seeing 7s, 777, 77. She saw a couple 77s on license plates. And she knew that meant her prayers were received and something was on the way. Well, interestingly, she went to her kid's school and she was talking to the administrator at the school. The conversation shifted to that they had an opening for her to actually work at the school, which was a dream job. She'd take her kids to school, work at the school in the office, and come home with the kids. Now, it wasn't as well paying initially as the job she had left, but she had been without a job for a long time. So she said, I'm going to trust that this will work out for me. Not only did she get the job at school in the office, but she also realized, because she too had a teaching degree, that she could tutor and do some freelance work when she got to know the kids at school. And so exactly what she wanted came through the minute she surrendered the idea of how it should be. If you get sevens, the universe, the law for the seven is tell the universe what you want, give up control, and let the magic of the universe deliver for you. Okay? Let the magic of the universe percolate on this a little bit. Stand back. It's sort of like when you plant a seed in the garden. Don't go dig it up the next day. The seven is message received. We're on the job. Now, eights are very powerful. When you get repeating eights, that's a power number. You know, August 8 is like 8-8. And if it's a year 8, it's even more powerful. Or 8 a.m. on August 8, 888. That means that there's a portal opening of power, divine support, that real specific support can come in. But it also reminds you that you're powerful. Your ego and our egos feel weak, they feel small, they feel overwhelmed, they feel insignificant, or bloated and bully, who knows? But we all know underneath that ego, I'm scared. But the eights come in to say, don't connect to your ego, connect to your power. And when you speak, it is a number about speaking as well. It is a throat chakra number, and it's saying, be mindful of what you say because your words have power. When you get that 8, it's saying, say what you want because you'll get it. But don't say what you don't want because you'll get it. So if you get 8s, it's really reminding you that you're powerful. You want to speak with power. You want to speak with integrity, which means wholeness, with truth, and that people will believe you. So if you're writing a resume, or you're interviewing for a job, or applying for something, or even going on a date, anywhere where you're trying to impress, writing a book, that 8 is your power. So not only do you see them, you can use them. You can conjure up that 888. You can bring it into your mind, and you can also see it as an infinity symbol through here, sideways. I think that's called the Lennoskate. It's an interesting word. Most people just call it the infinity symbol. But you see it going over one eye down, over the other eye down. It also means clear vision. So you can put it over your throat, clear expression. So when you get 8s, you're being reminded you have power, and you have power being made available to you. And we come to 9s, and 9s are conclusions, ends of cycles. This is over. Time to let go. And people think it's sad, but it's liberation. It's death and rebirth. So if you get a 9, see any repeating 9s, it's saying, well, this cycle is over. I had a client who was involved with a husband for 30 years. She said he was just so awful. And she was very Catholic and very committed to her kids and very dependent on him for that matter. She didn't work independently, but she suffered every day of that marriage. He was very narcissistic and obtuse and bully and put her down and just that guy. And then she started seeing 9s everywhere. She would go to church because she was church going, and then she would see them on the street. She saw one on a bus going by, big 999, didn't know what that meant. Again, we see them in license plates. She saw it on clocks. And she said about the third or fourth time I saw these 9s, I knew that I was done. I just knew it. So within a month of all those 9s, something in her changed. She was no longer afraid and diminished. And she suddenly decided, I've had enough. She went to a lawyer. She filed for divorce. She announced to him, I'm over you. He was shocked. First, he was very mean-spirited, and then he was like, don't go. And she said, I'm done. There's nothing here for me. And she walked right out the door. Now, I'm confident she landed on her feet. I didn't really get much of a follow-up, but when you're done, you're done. And a 9 is saying, be done. A 9 is saying, it is done, and that it's complete. So the numbers are ways angels broadcast. So remember, it's not just a symbol to remind you of something. It is a conversation energetically, and asking you to use that number to accomplish your focus, your creativity, get your partnerships, get grounded, make changes, surrender control, be powerful, and know when to let things go. So this is something I've been meaning to talk about for a long time. Put in the comments below where your experience with angels communicating numbers, and then write what was happening. What was happening when you saw those numbers? What was going on in your life, and what your angels were talking to you about that and giving you energy. So please share that with me, because when you identify it, it gets stronger. And of course, we want to hear and I want to support you. So this is what the angel numbers are about. These numbers are very important and consistent, but rather than memorize them, connect to the frequency and feeling of them, because that is when you're really talking to the angels. Thanks for tuning in. If you found this useful, please give me a thumbs up. Better subscribe. We're going to start next month. I'm very excited. I'm going to be giving an intuitive check-in every month going forward, because the world's changing so fast. So you'll want to stay tuned and come back for that. And other lessons in how to work with your guides, how to become intuitively empowered and be someone who lives in fifth dimensional frequency. Thanks for tuning in. All my love.